Hello, and welcome to DMK 301, Week 2. This topic this week is called Data Privacy and the 2020s. What is data privacy? Data privacy refers to how a bit of information or data should be treated in relation to its value. For example, you probably wouldn't mind sharing your name with a stranger in the course of presenting yourself, but there's information you would never reveal unless you've gotten to know the person better. However, once you apply for a bank account, you'll almost certainly be asked any questions. What this means is that data privacy is the really secure information and really sensitive information about an individual. We commonly extend the principle of data protection to sensitive personal information, also known as personally identifiable information, PII, and personal health information in the modern age, PHI. Social security numbers, personal and medical history, financial details such as bank account and credit card numbers, and even common but even sensitive information such as full names are all examples. Any examples really where people can take your information, assume your identity, and have potential fraud or identity theft. For a business, data privacy goes beyond the PII of its employees and customers. It also includes the information that helps the company operate, whether it's proprietary research and development data or financial information that shows how it's spending and investing in its money. Data privacy also means what consumers are doing. In digital marketing, data privacy also can potentially mean prohibiting companies to allow to see what customers are doing, what kind of transactions they make, to build out those consumer behavior models that help companies, especially in digital marketing, provide digital marketing techniques and experiences. Data privacy. Do customers care? It's a resounding yes. According to research from 2019, internet users worldwide who are concerned about their privacy versus accepting certain risks to their digital privacy for convenience have shown that the majority of respondents from around the world, on average 83%, say they're concerned about their privacy. So this means around 80 to 90% or more of citizens in the world are concerned about the privacy of their information, especially in digital. But however, they are still willing to accept certain risks. We know the convenience of shopping online. We know the convenience of managing our personal business digitally. What that means, though, is that while we are still concerned about our privacy, we do know there's a potential risk of our information being breached. However, around 60% or more in some countries do believe that they're willing to accept those risks, knowing that companies should have some type of security mechanism in place to prevent those data breaches, although knowing it could occur. The fact that data breaches could occur, there's also laws in place, though, that can also further protect the information of consumers and individuals in the world today. In the 2020s, recent privacy laws have been enacted, and the first one to cover is GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation, mainly used in the European Union. GDPR is a series of proposed guidelines aimed at giving European Union people greater power over their personal records. Its aim is to make the regulatory climate for the enterprises easier to navigate so that people and companies in the European Union can reap the full benefits of the digital economy. The reforms are designed to reflect the worlds we are living in now and bring laws and obligations, including those around personal data, privacy, and consent across Europe up to speed for the internet-connected age. What it's really doing, it's fostering an atmosphere that allows individuals to have much better protection with their information. It's ensuring compliance from a legal perspective, but also from a business operations perspective. This is a big shift in the European Union, which many companies who are either within the European Union or operate globally in the European Union need to follow. This is an impact to digital businesses and needs to be monitored on a regular basis to ensure that we're compliant with what we're doing in the GDPR guidelines. Another major data privacy law enacted in the 2020s is the CCPA, or the California Consumer Privacy Act. This is where consumers would be entitled to opt out of selling their personal details and information under this regulation. Consumers would be entitled to sue businesses if they fail to enforce sound security practices and their sensitive information is compromised. However, companies can still collect the data of what customers are buying, where they go, the photos they've taken, their emails, even the ones that have been deleted. So while companies can still collect information, it cannot be sold if a consumer doesn't provide that consent or does opt out of that information being sold. We know a lot of the times that third-party information around consumers is sold for businesses to get lead generation, to find out ways to build out consumer databases and profile information for targeted marketing efforts and other digital business efforts. Now in California, consumers in that state can now opt out of that information being sold and sue businesses if they do it without their consent. But what companies must now do is tell you what they're collecting when you ask, and delete it all if you ask for that. However, some companies can deny your request to delete if the data is required in order to complete a financial transaction or protect against fraud. So while there is regulation in place with this new act that you can request for your information to not be used or deleted, if you are trying to complete a financial transaction record or protect against fraud, there are some parameters companies still have to ensure that those types of and for that type of information is still used to protect against fraud and also to complete financial transactions. This information is important to understand as a digital marketer because you have to understand what your guidelines are within the state of California and what consumers have a right to do or not do with their personal information. It's laws like this and others that exist in 2020s and beyond that are going to continue to shift the dynamic about how digital marketers develop strategies with consumer information. Consumer information does help a lot to understand what consumers want, how they shop, where they shop, to truly target and market to them through a digital marketing perspective. However, we have to make sure we're legally compliant and also ensuring that we understand the new laws that are coming into place to shift our strategies to ensure we are legally compliant. Thank you for your time in this overview of data privacy in the 2020s.